Namaste, welcome again for some Thursday evening, or whatever day you might happen to be seeing this, yin style yoga practice. As ever, I encourage you to have handy for yourself props that you may want. Folded blankets, blocks are kind of my personal favorite, a bolster if that's your style, anything that you think will help facilitate your practice and will serve you well. I encourage you to employ whatever that may be. Have you this evening begin lying on your back in a reclined butterfly stretch or Supta Baddha Konasana, so coming comfortably onto the ground, allowing the soles of your feet, if they like, to touch together, your knees, free to release out wide. Of course, opportunity to prop the knees and thighs with blocks or bolsters, or to scoot your feet a little farther away to create perhaps less sensation, a little less of a extreme stretch. Just do your best to find a posture that's really going to actually be comfortable. Your arms can support the posture or be settled on top of the thighs or knees for leverage, or you can certainly just get your arms out of the way, up to you. Once you've found a relatively comfortable posture, invite your eyes to gently close. Invite your awareness to come into your body, beginning to acknowledge physical sensations, noting your contact with, your connection to the ground. Noticing the points of your body that are not connected to the earth, acknowledging that sensation of space or openness. Beginning to tune your awareness to the sensation of your breath, acknowledging the rhythm of inhale followed by exhale, followed by an inhale again, on and on and on. Notice the pace of your breath without necessarily changing it. Simply becoming aware of it. Noticing the depth of your breath, or any other quality you might be able to assign to your breath. Acknowledge any content in your mind in terms of thoughts about the day. Acknowledging if there are concerns or worries about the future. Not trying to push away what's in your mind, but avoiding any urge to exaggerate or dramatize what might be in the mind. Acknowledge it for what it is. Thoughts come and thoughts go. It's a part of the contract of having a mind. The mind is a thought-producing and a thought-engaging faculty. If your mind has begun running away with the thoughts, bring your attention and focus back toward the body. Feeling what's happening in your body at this exact moment. Feeling the breath that is passing through your body at this exact moment. The beauty of focusing on your breath is that it will always immediately transport you to the present moment. You can't breathe even 5 minutes ago. Those breaths are gone. You can't breathe tomorrow or 20 minutes from now. Only the breath happening at this moment has any kind of tangible meaning. Focus on this breath. And allow the body a little more time to arrive and to get settled. If you've noticed things becoming a little tense, the sensations are getting to be a little extreme, be willing to adjust your body to a slightly different position if you need. Encouraging your body to soften and relax. No need to force your way deeper into a posture. You just want to be sure to not feel like we're having to use tension or effort to hold the body back. Ultimately, the yin aspect of yin yoga implies that there's a sense of easefulness to the approach. Not striving or straining, allowing the body to receive the benefit of being supported by the earth, allowing the body to receive benefit by virtue of your natural process of breath. Allowing your body to receive benefit simply by taking a little bit of time. Your body the opportunity to find at least 3 more cycles of breath. Feeling your inhalations expanding in some parts of your body, feeling your exhalations create releasing, more softening, perhaps in other places of your body. As always, I invite you to stay in this posture or any posture for as long as you would like. If your 3 breaths are up and you're ready to move along, very carefully begin to draw your knees towards one another. You might opt to use your hands to gently assist the process. And upon arrival, perhaps you'll just pause and notice what you feel in your body, or if it seems appropriate, perhaps you'll create a little movement. You could windshield wiper your knees gently from side to side, or you might give your knees a little squeeze in toward your chest, or stretch your body long. Feel into the experience of your body and let that experience guide anything that might happen at this moment. To move or to not move, to squeeze in or to extend out. Trusting the wisdom of your body. Over the next several breaths that come your way, you can meet with the knees bent and the soles of the feet flat on your mat or on the earth. Walking those feet in a little ways towards your hips. And from here you can go ahead and extend your right leg and just cross the right leg over the top of your left, looking to kind of place the back of your right knee directly over the top of your left knee. So almost like you're sitting in that kind of cross-legged or very modest position in a chair. The knees and thighs might subtly squeeze into one another, but avoid any undue effort, just a slight squeezing action, just trying to shore up that feeling of connection between the legs. Now you have the option here to simply maintain this position, feeling those knees stacked on top of one another, the thighs kind of wrapped up, or lightly squeezing if you find it comfortable to do in your body, or if it sounds appealing from here. Your arms getting out of the way, however makes sense, out at a T or goal posted or behind your head. You can start to just gently lower the legs. Try to keep those knees close together. Dropping the legs over to your right. So it starts to create a little bit of a twisting action in your spine. If you find that to be uncomfortable, that starts to really force your legs to come apart, and you might opt to go ahead and just come back to where you started from. Just allowing the knees to be close to one another, the thighs to be close to one another. Once you've begun to find the position that feels accessible, reasonable in your body, make a brief point to acknowledge your contact with the earth. What parts of your body are touching the ground and what parts are not. Take a moment to acknowledge what is, freely exposed to space where you don't have that sense of connection. Take a moment to acknowledge your breath. Noticing where your breath can freely expand in your body. Where is the breath unimpeded? And likewise noting anywhere the breath seems to be a little restricted, or where the breath seems like it is impeded. There's no right or wrong answer. Nothing you observe will be particularly good or bad. simply allowing yourself to gather the data, to notice, to observe, to become aware. Find that your body is becoming unduly stressed or strained in the posture you have, be willing to backtrack or make a little adjustment. If it seems clear that your body is very, very capable of being where it is, perhaps you look to deepen your experience, maybe reasserting that stacking action of your right knee over the top of your left. Maybe recommitting to a connection at the thighs, possibly exploring that twisting action if you didn't have it before, maybe propping a block under that right thigh or hip to keep some support in the mix. Adjusted your posture, once again, take the time to check in and notice if anything about what you discovered previously has shifted. Any new points of contact with the earth. Any changes to how the breath is moving through your body. Your body to have another 3 or so cycles of breath. Smooth, natural inhalation. Let the breath be as deep as it wants to be without force or effort. Let your exhalation be as complete and thorough, as naturally and comfortably as the body can manage. No forcing, no straining. Let your body remain with this posture for longer. If something interesting is occurring, if something feels really good, take the time to stick with it. Otherwise, carefully begin to release from your posture. Allowing that right leg perhaps to extend as the knees uncross. As you come out of that shape, like before, give your body a few moments to just notice what's happening, to acknowledge how things feel, to be still perhaps, or to maybe create some movement, maybe a full body stretch, maybe windshield wipering your knees, or perhaps drawing your knees into your chest for a little squeeze, breathing all the while. course of your next several breaths. Look to bring yourself back toward the center, feet on the earth, knees bent, to set up that action on the other side of your body, extending when you're ready to your left leg momentarily, allowing that left knee to cross over the top of your right knee, letting the knees gently cinch together, the thighs might gently cinch and squeeze in. That connection can be very apparent and clear, but let any muscular action be very subtle. We don't need to crush anything between the legs. We're just looking to have a very gentle eliminating of unnecessary space, letting things just get in close. As before, you might simply stay here with the knees stacked and the thighs lightly drawn towards one another, or perhaps, worth a shot anyways, to discover if it will be comfortable, keeping the knees aligned with one another, to allow your knees to gently release out towards your left, toward the earth. In that twisting action, you might discover right away that that's going to disrupt that connection at the knees, in which case perhaps you'll opt to just bring the knees back up toward the sky, or, as always, if you happen to have a handy dandy block, maybe that will create enough support for you to be able to start creating that twisting action without having to sacrifice that connection at the knees and thighs. No way is particularly good or bad. There's no better or worse. Just a question of what the body is willing to do, and our willingness to accept what that is today and to relax into what that might be today. Scan the body for tension. If you find any, invite it to soften, maybe 50%. Just a little easier, a little freer in the body. Notice your contact and connection with the earth. Let your body be plenty heavy at those connection points. Let your body be supported by the earth. Notice the feeling of space in this posture where there's freedom and expansiveness. Notice how your breath responds to this shape. It's all just observation. Whatever answers you come up with, as long as they're honest answers, then they are absolutely correct. Not good or bad. Just interested in what's true. moment to acknowledge whatever the most activated or engaged aspect of your body may be in this moment. And just allow that part of your body to be 50% more relaxed, a little freer, a little easier, a little softer. Clearly needs to adjust its position, take this opportunity to make any such adjustments. Maybe more depth to your posture. Maybe you've got the legs propped with a block and you can afford to take that block out. Maybe you've been in that twisted action and discover that it's becoming more of a burden on your body than a help. You might opt to bring the knees toward that upright position and just reassert that alignment, that stacking action of the knees, that connection between the thighs. All the adjustments in pursuit of finding more of a sense of easefulness in the body, not adjusting to create a sense of work, not adjusting in any way that causes strain or tension, easing into those adjustments. More relaxation, more freedom and ease in the body. Before, give your body the opportunity to cycle through 3 more full breaths. A complete but easeful and natural inhalation. A complete but comfortable, natural exhalation. Filling and then emptying the body of breath with no undue effort or strain. Simply allowing the breath to come and go. Stay with your posture if that's appropriate for you. Preparing to release your posture if or when your body is ready to move along. At some point, releasing that left leg. And as before, taking the opportunity perhaps to be still, to observe and listen to your body, maybe taking the opportunity for movement, a moment to neutralize the energy of the body or to gently counter stretch in your body. From here you'll begin to work your way onto your belly. You might be farther away than it sounds, so I encourage you to really take your time. There's not a big rush to get there. You might roll onto your side and rest briefly in a fetal posture. If you're the type that likes to rock and roll on the length of your spine, you could set that up for yourself. Just being aware of how you want to get there. If you went through that fetal posture, you have the option to simply continue rolling, bringing your chest down toward the earth, or you might press yourself up through a seated position. Turn yourself around. Lots of ways to get there. So think about what's going to be comfortable and what's going to allow you to be comfortably in that belly down position. Depending on your space, there may be some need to face one way or another in terms of your head and toes. Once you have found your way onto your belly, anything you need to do to comfortably be there, stack your arms or hands underneath your forehead. You could send your arms alongside your hips. Take a little time to acclimate to this position. If you are listening honestly to the sensation and experience in your body, it will be very clear that things are radically different right now than they were just moments ago. Thus far, your chest, your belly, face have been largely free and exposed to the space around you. And it's your shoulders, your glutes, your heels that have been connected to the earth. Now the script has been literally flipped. Your belly, your chest, maybe your forehead or your chin are connected to the ground. The tops of the thighs, the knees, maybe the tops of your feet, all anchored onto the earth. Let those places be heavy. Where there is contact, there is support. Let that support be functional. Feel how your shoulders, the upper, mid, and lower back, the glutes, backs of the thighs, the calves and heels, all of them totally exposed now to the space around you. Notice how the experience of your breath has shifted. Your belly can't expand completely. The ground will interrupt it. Feel that expansion moving perhaps into your back body. Get ready to set up these next couple postures. I want to be very mindful and attentive to things. Sometimes this posture can be a little sensitive as we work into the shoulders and chest. A lot of us do have shoulder issues, so be willing again to accommodate yourself, to adjust this as you see fit. If your arms are at your sides, we'll go ahead and free them up. Looking to momentarily send the arms out at a T, so if you need to, chin can be on the ground, forehead could be on the ground, put a block under there if you need. I'm going to focus on that left arm to start with. So spread your left fingers and your left palm out super wide and let that smush down onto the ground. Really anchor that left palm, the middle fingertip to the earth, and feel as much connection in your left arm as you can to the ground. Let the forearm, the bicep there be anchored onto the earth, the front of the shoulder, and your left pectoral.
all anchored down very, very clearly to the earth. If you don't have a lot of space, you can also create kind of a goal posting action here. Just make sure that from the shoulder to the elbow there's kind of a straight line out. That hand will be way out in front of you then. We want to make sure we have safe space, but plenty of connection right there. Left arm is the anchor. You'll bring your right palm to the earth underneath your right shoulder. So that's going to smush in pretty close toward your body. With care and mindfulness from here, you'll gradually begin pushing your right palm into the floor. Just start to roll you toward the left side of your body, onto your left hip. Now you might discover right away that it's not comfortable to go to very far. You can just keep pushing into that right palm. Your body doesn't have to really roll anywhere, but you'll start to feel perhaps some stretching, some sensation in front of the shoulder or in your left chest there. If you are able to comfortably come all the way onto your left side, that's great. Your legs can be stacked. You can stagger the feet apart for a little more balance. If you find yourself wanting, able, lots of different ways you can create more sensation or a little more interesting experience here. That right arm can certainly reach back. It might grab a hold of your right foot, or if it's the left foot that walked behind as you staggered things, you might grab a hold of the left foot. That might not be accessible, no matter. Mostly the action we're interested in here is through the front of that left shoulder and chest. And again, if that's sensitive, you might largely still be on your belly and just creating a slight opening of that left chest and shoulder by pushing the right palm into the ground. You won't be here quite as long as we've held the other postures. We'll be here long enough that it's worth taking the rundown. Notice what's connected to the ground. Where you have support, utilize support. Where you have space, allow the body and the breath to be expansive. If things have become a little bit intense, if your body is making it known that you're not in a safe, a reasonable posture, make adjustments. If you're discovering that maybe you do have a little room to push the envelope comfortably, then take this opportunity to do so, whatever that might look like for you. Focusing on what you're feeling and experiencing, not worried about what it looks like. Not worried so much about following any alignment rules at this point. Once we're in the posture, letting sensation and experience dictate our next moves. Grant your body the opportunity to cycle through 3 more complete breaths, not rushing your breath, Not forcefully delaying your breath, just allowing the breath to complete itself. Staying with the posture if things feel good, if something interesting or worthwhile is happening. Otherwise, as you're ready, very carefully beginning to release and unwind whatever you may have done. Taking your time as you release, being present for the experience of leaving your posture. Taking some time once you're out to simply observe your body's reactions. Might send the arms both out at a T. Might return to stacking the arms under the head momentarily. Working toward that opposite side. Once you're prepared, again, you might begin by sending the arms out wide. This time allowing your right arm to really anchor onto the ground. Spread your right palm and your right fingers from your right middle fingertip all the way along the forearm, the front of the bicep and shoulder to the chest, smushing onto the ground. Get connected. Once you have that connection established, placing your left palm right there underneath your left shoulder, beginning to press into your left palm, rolling your body slightly towards your right hip. Maybe you will opt to take a very small movement. Again, your belly may not even leave the ground. Your hips might not move at all. But just by pressing into that left arm, you create some leverage and start to open up a little bit or create some sensation in front of that right shoulder, in the right chest, or if it's available to you, you might press into that left palm so much you roll onto your right hip. Maybe you'll continue to create more action by taking the top or even that bottom leg perhaps further back behind you. As you're arrived on your right side completely, maybe that left hand is freed up to reach back for your left, or could grab for the right foot potentially. It may simply swing open and grab at nothing, or again, you might find it better to keep that support on the ground. As you work toward a position that's sustainable, relatively comfortable for you, give yourself the chance to acknowledge where the posture is supported, to find contact and connection, and to utilize it. Let your body be heavy in the support that it has. Giving into gravity, giving into the support of the earth. Before you scan through your body and acknowledge what's happening, be honest with yourself. If what you've created is not so sustainable, be willing to walk it back a little ways, or if you're clearly holding something back, be willing to perhaps just push the envelope a little bit, avoiding sensations of strain or forceful effort, but willing to go where the body can. Be willing to take the body to its comfortable limits. Once you're arrived there, wherever that place may be, you can recommit to observing the nature of your breath and its relation to the shape that you've put your body in. Maintain awareness of the sensations that are coming and going in your experience. Before, look to find 3 more complete cycles of breath. No rushing or hurrying, nor any delaying or forcefully holding things back. Your breath cycling through completely but freely and effortlessly. The breath has run its course of those 3 cycles, then so too the posture perhaps is ready to release. Hold the posture longer if you want or need, otherwise carefully, mindfully unwinding anything you might have built. Returning your body toward a moment of neutrality. Arms could be out wide or at your side, maybe briefly stacking the hands or forearms underneath your head. Movement might feel good and be appropriate. Allow it to happen. Stillness may be appropriate. Allow it to happen. Here, when you're ready to carefully begin to raise yourself up through a brief tabletop posture, coming toward all 4s. As you arrive there, give yourself time, if it feels good to, again, move things around a little bit. You might sway side to side, shift back and forth. Might be a cycle or 2 of cat and cow that want to move through your body. Final official posture of this little yin practice. We'll move towards a variation of child's pose. So yet again, might be appropriate for you to utilize bolster or blocks. You can set, if you have multiple blocks, one back between the heels, allowing the pelvis, sitting bones to sort of anchor down onto it. Might be where your body intuitively wants support. You could put additionally a block underneath, or if you only have the one, maybe it'll be better to bring that support to the chest, setting that block underneath the breastbone. Arms are free, of course. to extend out in front of you if that's a happy place for them to be, if you prefer it. Many times it feels good to bring the hands back toward the heels, letting the shoulders sort of drop and round. Alternatively, especially if you don't have a block or a bolster to provide that support underneath your body, you might find it useful to just tuck your elbows and forearms underneath your chest. You can prop your forehead there on thumbs or palms or fists. Let your body sort of snuggle in. And again, we want to look to find some support for the body. Create as much contact, as much support as you can comfortably manage. Once you've found it, let your body ease into that support, and ease into that contact. Not forcing things to happen all at once, remembering principle of yin yoga allows us to acknowledge that some things simply take time. The process of finding a way to be comfortable in the posture is as much the goal of yin yoga as anything else. Gradually allowing your body to get comfortable, to melt through the tension or the resistance that naturally arises. You don't have to start in an uncomfortable place. Let your body begin in an easeful place, and as you surrender into gravity, into the support of the ground, into the reality of the mechanics of the posture you have, that resistance often naturally shows up. When you encounter it, don't run away. Notice it. Maybe you can just soften something in your body 50%. Changing your relationship to any resistance. Not fighting or gritting through. Not forcing or trying to dominate your way through anything that comes up. Taking the softer approach. What can you release? What can you let go of? Where can your body yield to what's happening? Again, not worried either. If the posture has an unorthodox appearance, if something kind of peculiar is occurring, notice it. If perhaps a strange adjustment or variation on the posture is underway, allow yourself to fully claim it. That adjustment, that quirky adjustment or variation you may have created could be precisely the answer you've been looking for. Posture itself won't be good or bad, won't be right or wrong. Posture is just a laboratory for your exploration. Exploration of your body, of your breath and your mind, and an exploration of the forces at play that are bigger than you, the earth itself, the support beneath you, the gravitational pull of that earth, the force of gravity anchoring you to the ground, the force of time sometimes very slowly, other times rapidly passing by. What are you observing right now? Grant your body the opportunity to take 3 more complete, easeful cycles of breath. Yet again, should your body wish to spend more time here, if something interesting or worthwhile is underway, do not interrupt the good work that is occurring. But if you are ready to exit the posture, do so with mindfulness, with awareness, plenty of time to get out of there. And giving yourself time, once you have made the exit, to be in observation, whether that's stillness, perhaps in a tabletop, or whether that's in motion. Ultimately, looking to bring yourself towards a comfortable seated posture, no rush to get there, but sometimes nice to know where it is you're headed. You might choose to sit on a bolster or a block if none is there and available. Just doing your best to create firm connection between the ground and your sitting bones, feeling perched up on those sitting bones, letting your spine align, stacking the spine in a vertical manner so you can be very tall with your posture, but feel very free. There's no hoisting the chest or shoulders. Everything is just stacked up on top of something below it. Sitting up because it's in the nature of things, if they are stacked, to stack up. Invite your eyes to close if they've opened. Invite your face to soften if it's tensing. Bringing maximum relaxation, freedom, and ease to your body, while maintaining a posture that is upright and will allow for maximum breath, for a maximum feeling of vitality and awareness. Awareness without tension or anxiety. Relaxation without tuning out or collapsing.
finding a sense of equanimity, harmony, balance for your body. As we move to wind things down, we'll take some clearing, cleansing, unified breaths. You might circle your arms out and up overhead as you inhale, drawing in lots and lots of fresh energy, lots of oxygen for your body. Perhaps connecting your palms as you exhale and lowering your thumbs toward your heart, clearing away any lingering tension, stagnation, or stress. Clearing out any clutter. Another nice deep breath in, filling your body with anything at all you may be needing this evening, and exhaling to clear away anything you do not need, making space, creating room, breathing in once again to gather for yourself whatever it may be you wish to bring in, and exhaling to clear away anything at all that is no longer of service to you. You can let it go. Finding one more unified breath to conclude. As you go about the rest of your evening, or morning, depending where you are, moving onward into the future, wherever it may take you, I invite you to bring this practice, this awareness with you, carrying as well peaceful thoughts for your mind, peaceful words for your lips, and of course peace for your heart, and recognition and in appreciation of the spark within you. Namaste. Have a beautiful rest of your day or evening, and keep on breathing.